Hey Gemini, I need to talk to you about something that came up in the cards today, and honestly, this reading shook me a bit. If you know someone whose name starts with J, or maybe J is significant in some way in your life right now, you need to hear this because the energy around this person is not what it seems on the surface. I shuffled the deck asking specifically about this J person and what they might be hiding from you, and what came through was honestly darker than I expected. Before we dive in, take a deep breath because some of what I am about to share might challenge everything you thought you knew about this person. The universe has been trying to get your attention about this for a while now, and today the cards are finally spelling it out clearly. So let me walk you through what I am seeing here, and I promise you, by the end of this reading, things are going to make a lot more sense, even if the truth is uncomfortable. The first card that came out is the Nine of Wands. And this immediately tells me that this J person has been through something intense, something that wounded them deeply. When I see this card in the context of secrets, it usually means the person is in defensive mode, like they have built walls around themselves because of past trauma or betrayal. This J person has been hurt before, maybe multiple times, and they learn to protect themselves by hiding parts of who they really are. The Nine of Wands shows someone standing guard, someone who has been in battle and is now scarred and cautious. What this tells me about their secret is that it likely stems from a place of pain. They are not necessarily hiding something to hurt you deliberately, but they are hiding it because they are scared. Scared of being vulnerable, scared of being judged, scared of being hurt again. This person has convinced themselves that keeping this secret is a form of self-preservation. They look at their past and think that if they reveal the truth, they will lose everything they have worked to build or maintain. The energy here is exhaustion too, like carrying this secret has become a heavy burden, but they feel trapped, like they have gone too far to turn back now. What I find interesting is that the Nine of Wands often appears when someone is almost at their breaking point. This J person might be closer to confession than you think, but they are still holding on desperately to their defenses. The secret they carry has required constant vigilance, constant management, and it is wearing them down. You might have noticed them being more guarded lately, maybe more irritable or distant, and now you know why. They are exhausted from keeping up whatever facade they have constructed. Next, I pulled the Five of Cups, and this card deepens the story significantly. The Five of Cups is about loss, regret, and focusing on what went wrong rather than what is still good. This tells me that the secret this J person is hiding is connected to something they deeply regret, something they wish they could take back but cannot. There is a mourning energy here, like they are grieving over choices they made or things that happened. When I look at this card in connection with the Nine of Wands, I see someone who experienced a significant loss or made a major mistake, and instead of facing it openly, they chose to hide it. The secret might involve a relationship that ended badly, a betrayal they committed, a financial disaster they caused, or maybe something they did that hurt someone else. Whatever it is, they are stuck in this place of looking at the spilled cups, the things that went wrong, while ignoring the two cups still standing behind them, which represent hope and possibility. This person has convinced themselves that they are defined by this mistake or this loss, and they believe that if you knew the truth, you would only see them through that lens. The Five of Cups often shows up when someone is unable to move forward because they are too focused on the past. This J person might be replaying whatever happened over and over in their mind, wishing they had done things differently. The darkness of this secret is not just in what happened, but in how it has consumed them emotionally. They might be dealing with depression or deep sadness that they hide from others. On the surface, they might seem fine, but internally, they are drowning in regret and shame. What the universe wants you to understand is that this person needs compassion, but you also deserve honesty. Their pain does not excuse their deception, but it does explain it. Then we have the World card showing up, and at first this might seem contradictory, but actually it makes perfect sense in this reading. The World represents completion, accomplishment, and the end of a major cycle. What this tells me is that the secret J is hiding involves something from a previous chapter of their life, something they thought was finished and done with. They might have believed they left this behind when they moved to a new city, started a new relationship, began a new job, or entered a new phase of life. The world suggests they achieved some kind of closure or ending in their own mind, and they do not want to bring the past into their present. This could mean they have a secret past relationship, maybe even a marriage or serious partnership that ended badly. It could be about a previous career or life path they abandoned. It might involve legal troubles, financial bankruptcy, or family drama they thought they escaped. The world energy says they literally closed the door on that chapter and tried to start fresh, but the problem is they did not tell you about it. They are presenting themselves as someone without that history, and that is the deception. The secret is not necessarily something they are currently doing wrong, but rather something they did or experienced in the past that they have hidden from you. They want you to see them as the person they are now, the person who has completed that journey and moved on, but they are terrified that if you know where they came from or what they went through, you will not accept them. The world also suggests that this secret might come full circle soon. Things that we try to leave in the past have a way of catching up with us, and this J person might be about to face the consequences of keeping this hidden for so long. The Ace of Swords cuts through everything with pure clarity and truth, and this card appearing here is significant. The Ace of Swords represents breakthrough moments, mental clarity, truth being revealed, and cutting through deception. This is the universe telling you directly that the truth about this J person's secret is going to come out. And when it does, it will be sharp and sudden like a sword cutting through fog. You are going to have a moment of absolute clarity where everything suddenly makes sense, where all the little inconsistencies and strange behaviors you might have noticed will suddenly click into place. The Ace of Swords does not mess around. It brings truth whether we are ready for it or not. This card suggests that you might already have suspicions. You might have picked up on things that did not quite add up, and your intuition has been trying to tell you something is off. When the full truth emerges, it will probably come through communication, maybe a conversation where they finally confess, or maybe you will discover documents, messages, or information that reveals everything. The Ace of Swords also indicates that this revelation, while shocking, will ultimately be liberating for you. Yes, it will hurt to know you were deceived, but there is power in knowing the truth. It will allow you to make informed decisions about this relationship moving forward. The sword cuts both ways, though. It will free you from uncertainty, but it will also sever the illusion you have been living under. This person with J in their name has been controlling the narrative, but the Ace of Swords says that control is about to end. Truth has a way of emerging no matter how deeply buried, and this particular truth is ready to surface. Now the Page of Swords appears, and this adds another layer to the story. The Page of Swords is curious, investigative, and sometimes represents a messenger or communication that reveals information. This suggests that you might need to do some investigating yourself, or that someone younger or less experienced might inadvertently reveal the truth to you. Pages are also about learning and discovery, which tells me that uncovering this secret will be a learning experience for you about trust, discernment, and reading people. The Page of Swords can be a bit sneaky or clever, which might actually describe how this J person has been managing their secret. They have been strategic about what they share and what they withhold, carefully crafting their story to hide the parts they do not want you to see. But pages are also immature in the tarot, which suggests this person's approach to handling their secret has been immature. Instead of having the courage to be honest, they took the easier path of concealment. The Page of Swords appearing here might also indicate that small clues will lead you to the bigger truth. Maybe you will notice something odd in their social media history, or a comment someone makes will spark your curiosity, or you will find something they accidentally left visible. This card encourages you to pay attention to the details, to trust your mental faculties, and not dismiss your observations. If something feels off, it probably is. The Page of Swords also warns against confrontation before you have all the facts. If you suspect something, gather information first before you approach them about it, because if they are caught off guard, they might try to manipulate the situation or feed you partial truths. The Ace of Wands brings intense energy of new beginnings, passion, and creative force. But in this context, it reveals something about the nature of the secret itself. This card suggests that what Jay is hiding might be connected to passion, desire, or a new venture they pursued. Wands are the suit of fire, action, and sometimes impulsive behavior. This makes me think the secret could involve an affair, a passionate relationship they had or are having, or maybe a business venture or project they started without telling you. The Ace of Wands is raw, primal energy, and when someone acts from this space without thinking through consequences, they can make choices they later need to hide. This person might have followed their desires or ambitions in a way that conflicted with their commitments to you or to their responsibilities. The Ace is a beginning, which suggests this secret might be about how something started, like the origin story of a situation they are now trying to conceal. Maybe they started a relationship while still in another one, or they launched a business using money they should not have touched, or they made a bold move that had serious repercussions. What I find telling about the Ace of Wands here is that it indicates this person probably felt very justified and excited at the time they made whatever choice they are now hiding. In that moment, it felt right to them. It felt like an opportunity they had to seize. Only later did they realize the complications it would create, and by then they were in too deep. This card also suggests sexual energy, so I would not be surprised if the secret has a sexual or romantic component to it. The Ace of Wands can represent infidelity or attraction that led someone astray from their committed path. The Queen of Pentacles appearing in this reading is really interesting because she represents nurturing, practical wisdom, financial security, and domestic stability. In the context of secrets, this makes me think that either this J person is trying to protect their material security or reputation, or the secret involves another woman who embodies Queen of Pentacles energy. Let me explore both possibilities. First, this person might be hiding their secret specifically because revealing it would threaten their financial stability, their home life, or their social standing. Queens of Pentacles are very concerned with maintaining their comfortable lifestyle and their image as someone who has it all together. If this J person has built a life that looks successful and stable from the outside, they might be terrified that the truth will destroy that image and those material securities. The secret could involve debts they have hidden, money they mismanaged, or financial decisions that could cost them their home or lifestyle if discovered. Alternatively, the Queen of Pentacles could represent another person involved in this secret. Maybe there is another woman, someone practical and grounded, who is part of whatever Jay is hiding. This could be an ex-partner, a business partner, a family member, or someone else who knows the truth and has been helping Jay keep it concealed. The Queen of Pentacles is nurturing and protective, so this person might be someone who Jay feels safe with, someone who has helped them manage or hide their secret. What this card definitely tells me is that the secret has material or practical implications. This is not just about emotions or abstract mistakes. There are real-world consequences involved here that affect day-to-day life, money, security, or domestic situations. Finally, the Two of Wands shows up, and this card is about planning, decisions, and looking toward the future while standing at a crossroads. The Two of Wands represents someone holding the world in their hands, considering their options, and making strategic choices about which direction to go. In this reading, it suggests that this J person has been actively planning how to manage their secret, how to keep it contained while moving forward with their life. They have been standing at this crossroads, weighing their options between coming clean and continuing to hide the truth. The Two of Wands indicates they have been thinking about the future consequences of both choices, trying to strategize the best path forward. This is someone who has not been passive about their deception. They have been actively managing it, thinking several steps ahead about how to maintain their secret while building the future they want. The card shows a figure looking out from a secure position, which tells me this person feels they have some control over the situation right now. But they are also aware that they cannot stay in this in-between state forever. A decision will have to be made. What I see with the Two of Wands is that this person is probably planning to tell you eventually, but on their own timeline, in their own way, when they feel they have enough control over the narrative and the outcome. They want to be the one to reveal the truth rather than having it discovered, because that way they can shape how the information is presented. But here's the thing, Gemini, the Ace of Swords that appeared earlier, tells me that the truth is coming out soon, regardless of their careful planning, and it might not happen on their terms like they hope. The Two of Wands also suggests this person has big ambitions or plans for the future that they believe require keeping this secret for now. Maybe they think that once they achieve certain goals or reach a certain point, then they can deal with the truth. But that is a dangerous game to play. So Gemini, when I look at all these cards together, here is what I am seeing about this person with J in their name. They are carrying a secret that stems from their past, something they deeply regret but feel unable to confess. This secret likely involves passion, possibly romantic or financial in nature, and it is something they have been actively managing and hiding because they fear losing their security, their reputation, or your trust. They are exhausted from keeping this up, standing guard constantly, and they are at a crossroads, trying to figure out how to move forward. The truth is going to come out soon, and when it does, you are going to have a moment of sharp clarity where everything makes sense. This revelation will probably come through some form of communication or discovery, and there might be another person, possibly a practical, grounded woman, who is connected to this secret. What the cards want you to know is that while this will be shocking and difficult, the truth will ultimately serve you better than living in deception. You deserve honesty, and you deserve to make decisions based on complete information rather than the carefully edited version this person has been showing you. Pay attention to your intuition, notice the small details that do not quite add up, and trust that the universe is guiding you toward clarity. This J person is not necessarily a bad person. They are wounded and scared and have made choices from that place of fear and pain, but that does not mean you have to accept being deceived. When the truth comes out, take time to process it fully before deciding how to move forward. You have more power in this situation than you might realize right now.